Good morning, and it's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. Let's do a quick video blog for you to get you set for what should be an interesting 24 hours or so before the big thaw sets in this week. The transition between the Arctic freeze we've been in and that warmer pattern will be marked by a pretty good chance of some icy spots as we go into Tuesday morning. It's going to be a quiet day weather-wise on this Monday across the valley. A lot of this precipitation that you see on the radar approaching western Ohio. This is Virga, precipitation not reaching the ground. Clouds will increase today, but we should stay dry through the daylight hours today. This wintry mess out here is getting set to impact our area as we go into the day on Tuesday. All right, with freezing rain, perhaps some sleet in the forecast, a good primer on what the difference is between these different types of wintry precipitation. You can find that online, wfmj.com/weather. I've got a 1 minute and 30-second video explaining the difference between freezing rain, sleet, snow, and just plain old rain, so be sure and check that out. Let's talk about what's going to happen here, the timing of our precipitation. Again, we're fine through the daylight hours for today. We're going to fast forward to our Tuesday morning, and this will be well before daybreak, so as early as about, say 2 or 3 o'clock. This is 4 or 5 o'clock a.m. on Tuesday. You never like to see these kind of pinks and purples on the model depiction. Precipitation is going to be pushing in, and the problem we'll have is that the air down here where we are on the ground will be just a little below freezing. But upstairs, there's going to be a nose of above freezing air. So as precipitation encounters that above freezing air, snowflakes are going to melt, become liquid, find their way down, and then they're going to encounter sub-freezing air down here at the ground, and that's freezing rain. And the timing of this isn't great, in that a lot of this is pushing in, of course, before daybreak on Tuesday. And we'll be in and out, it looks like, of the kind of freezing rain, perhaps some sleet pellet mixture for a few hours in the morning before we get above freezing and just see spotty, plain old rain showers for the rest of the day. So is this going to be enough to be problematic? You know, freezing rain, you can have, you know, kind of nuisance freezing rain, and you can also have freezing rain that is more of a problem. It's all about the amount of what we call accretion that occurs on objects. And this map shows you the odds of more than 1/10 of an inch. Generally, once we get above 1/10 of an inch of ice accretion on objects here on the ground, that's when you really start to run into more problems than maybe just a slight glaze. These are the odds of getting more than 1/10 of an inch. You can see they're not through the roof. Definitely higher odds out here across northwest Ohio. But some of these green colors across our viewing area, that corresponds to about a 20 to 40, maybe 50% chance of at least 1/10 of an inch worth of ice. 1/10 of an inch worth of ice, that's not going to be enough to cause power problems. That's not going to weigh down tree limbs and weigh down power lines and that sort of thing. But it can certainly be enough to make some surfaces slippery, especially traditionally colder surfaces, bridges, sidewalks, things like that. You may have to, you know, scrape a pretty good glaze off your car tomorrow morning if it's been out all night. And as you can see, the colors get a little bit brighter as you go north. So overall, I think in our area, the best chance of impactful icing tomorrow morning will be the farther north you are. Once you get down towards the Ohio River, down towards East Liverpool, the chances of truly impactful icing appear to be lower down there. So let's take a look at the official forecast here as far as the ice accretion. Those were the odds. This is, you know, kind of the best guess, if you will, as far as the amount. Not the odds, but just a plain old forecast here. And, you know, we can see up to 1/10 of an inch, it looks like, you know, once you get up towards the I-80 corridor especially. And so if you're traveling to Cleveland tomorrow morning, you're going to have to take it slow. It could be kind of a slick commute, especially on those traditionally colder surfaces. But again, the farther south and southeast you go, closer to Pittsburgh, I think the lower the chances are of an impactful amount of ice tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a little bit tricky tomorrow morning, so just plan on using a little caution and allowing for some extra travel time tomorrow morning. You'll get to your destination fine if you just take it slow, stay alert. Again, allow yourself a little extra time. We'll be just fine from the midday hours through the afternoon. And speaking of just fine, here comes the thaw. Once we get done with any wintry shenanigans tomorrow morning, we'll be in the upper 40s, perhaps even touching 50 once or twice at the end of the week. And while we'll cool down a little bit as we go towards the end of the weekend and early next week, it's only a cool down back to about average. I think beyond this, as we flip the calendar into February, it's going to warm right back up. In fact, the first 5 days, maybe week or so of February are looking very, very balmy. I think the rest of February won't be like that, but the first handful of days of February almost certainly will be. We'll talk more about the longer range tonight on Weather for Weather Geeks. We'll have an update on the potential for freezing rain, of course, all day long on social media, WFMJ.com/weather, the Storm Tracker 21 app, and I will see you this evening on 21 News at 6 and 11. Make it a great Monday, and thank you for watching.